You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the February 13th meeting for the Long Beach Building Commission. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Welcome. This is the regularly scheduled February meeting of the Long Beach Building Commission. First, we'll call the meeting to order at 1 p.m. First order of business is roll call. Honor.
Here.
Pete.
Yep.
Neil.
Yes. Yep.
Bob LeMay. Ellen Lynch.
Here.
Anita Remages.
Here.
Joy Schmidt.
Here.
Carter is not here, and I'm here. Honor, I thought he was going to be here. Next is the approval of minutes from the previous meeting. There was no meeting. Going to be the December minutes.
I would move to approve. Second, Anita Remages.
Any discussion? All those in favor, aye. Opposed, same, or nay. Next up is the commissioner's report. Because we didn't have a meeting in January, I was going to go through the 2025. In 2025, we issued 320 permits with construction costs of $15,420,194, which generated fees of $173,683.78. I don't know where the 78 cents came from. For January of 2026, we approved 12 permits with construction costs of $537,153, which generated fees of $6,373.33. Any questions or comments on the commissioner's report? Being none, we'll move on to old business. MS4, there's nothing to report. Our annual update is due by April 1st. And Reggie and I and Tom are working on that. The coastal resiliency groups, we did have a meeting with the Army Corps of Engineers and the DNR. It was a Zoom meeting or Teams meeting, excuse me. And we're waiting on recommendations from the Army Corps. Next up under old business is permit number 108. 3007 Northmore. It was a new deck where a previous deck it stood at one time, but it was removed prior to permitting. The owners went to the BZA for a variance because the deck encroaches into the setback by 10 feet. That variance was granted by the BZA. So unless anybody has any questions, that permit is approvable at this point.
Does this new deck exactly on the footprint of Johnson?
I can bring it up. It's smaller because the old deck actually extended into the neighbor's property line. And the new deck does not.
Oh, so this one doesn't. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't need to see it.
Hey, Tom and Arlene are on here.
Yes,
if
cut
you
out.
guys-
The BZA approved the deck, with an encroachment up to 9 feet, and then they were previously 13 feet out, which then encroached on the neighbor's property line. So that's been removed, and then they have up to a 9-foot encroachment into the setback, which is making use of the prior existing footprint of the deck. So they've made it smaller, address the safety concern with the second floor exterior.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Joy,
I
second.
would second that motion, Anita.
Anita, any discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay, you're all set, Tom. Elena?
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks.
You bet. Next up is permit number 319. That is a guest house and a basketball court building at, I don't have the address on Grandmere Way, I'm sorry. This was tabled at the last meeting. The accessory building or the basketball court is 108 ft 10 by 68. And the guest house, I don't have the dimensions of that, but I can bring the drawings up if you guys want to see them. Ellen, as you'll notice, I figured out how to make my cursor bigger in a different color.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's been a lot of discussion about this. There's been a lot of, it was tabled at the last meeting. I don't actually recall what what it was tabled for. There are a few things that, after reviewing everything that have come up with, the permit application, I sent those out to everybody this morning, or actually Chris sent them out last night. And I thought I had them here highlighted. I'll have to do it from memory. There's three things that are at issue with the 150.021, and those are B, nine, which reads, if required, written approval from the Long Beach Advisory Plan Commission indicating compliance with the Long Beach Comprehensive Plan. B 12, or I'm sorry, B 11, if required, written approval or release from the LaPorte County. B 12, I'm sorry. If required, written approval or non-objection letter from the LaPorte County Health Department, well, septic or sanitary sewer permits, whichever is applicable as required. We do not have a sewer permit for this in the application. There's one more and I don't remember it.
Number 15.
Oh, 13. That's a street cut permit for the driveway. Probably the most important is importance. It's really not my call to say, but without a sewer permit, we don't issue permits or approve building permits without either a septic permit or a sewer permit. And that is not part of the application.
And the issue of the Long Beach Advisory Plan Commission has not been addressed. This ordinance, just to make everybody a little history on this ordinance, 150, the entire 150 ordinance was mandated by the building, what is it called? The Fire Prevention Building and Safety Commission for every community in the state of Indiana. So these are not discretionary things that we have here that can be adjusted by the town, even if we chose to. And that puts a lot of the onus here on the statements that are made here. These are clear, and we have no choice to go against them and make any kind of judgment to lessen or make them greater, make the restrictions greater.
I want to clarify that a bit. What's required is that the building code has to be approved, submitted and approved by the state, which he was instrumental in. That happened long ago. I think some of these are more the language mandatory versus not. They are things upon which you can base decisions. So going to the plan commission is something if required and you're authorized to send and ask that from. But whether you do or don't issue something with regard to whether it has a permit or signed off, I mean, those are all a list. So I want to be clear that it is discretionary whether you send it. So I think we're saying the same, but I want you to be able to make an informed decision that you are not required to send that to a plan commission, for instance, but you can for a determination. You have done that. But these are all certainly approved. This is your building code as submitted, approved by the state.
Okay, so I'll make a motion based on B11 that we don't have a sewer permit. It is B11, right?
I'll have to read it out. 150.021.B.12.
12. That the permit be denied.
I'll second that. Any discussion?
Larry, before you go further, I just want to note that they do have representation here. So if you're inclined to.
Okay, Anthony?
If I could, I just understand what we need. It's been a little frustrating, the piecemeal aspect of this. We've never talked about previous meetings that you're missing anything. And it's never talked about previously that we were going to go and meet with the APC. If we were going to meet the go, it would have been back in December. So are you planning there? What the inadequacies with this permit specifically, because like to know so that all of them
Sure.
can be addressed. Then we had Peter Dvorsky on Zoom, who was actually the project architect who was instrumental in submitting that application. So I'd like his input as well.
Well,
Sure.
Just for the motion, right, that's pending is just to deny it based on that there is no sewer permit. The APC and the APC's determination of whether that does or doesn't comply. I think you guys went through it on the first one, right? So that isn't the basis of this motion. So
I recognize that, respectfully, what's been happening is an issue is brought up that this is the issue. We come back and talk about it, and all of a sudden we learn about this is an issue. I'm just trying to figure out based on the submission, what an
so to that end, right? I mean, there's an application and this code section lays out everything that your project manager should comply with. I would anticipate that some determination in the future will be made by the plan commission, just based on this discussion of whether it complies, that project as presented complies with the comprehensive plan. But for today, based on this motion, it seems that the only thing you're quote unquote missing for your question is the permit for sewers, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, Larry, because I know you're in the discussion point. This is a little bit unorthodox, but because they have representation, it certainly is. You should hear him.
And I'm just trying to figure out, is it the pleasure of the board that we wants to go in front of the ABC because I can already see we submit this, we have the sewer permit, and there's a motion to send it to the ABC. I'm just trying to make this a little bit.
Well, I don't, I guess I would have to ask Chris for advice. I don't, as Chris mentioned, our 150.021 is our guidelines for the issuing the permit. And the responsibility for compliance with those falls on the applicant, not on the building commission. So, and I'd like to address one of the points you made. We didn't have a meeting in January. So that's why it was tabled in December. And then there is, as you know, much discussion during the December meeting about this. So when we prepare for the next meeting, which was this meeting. But it's, as Chris mentioned, it's the applicant, it's incumbent on the applicant to make sure that you comply with the zoning ordinances. I don't know if,
Can I add?
Sure.
But I don't think it is unreasonable, so that if you're going to make the decision you're going to make based on as presented, but it isn't unreasonable consensus wise, so that they can plan, and if their intention is to resubmit or ask you to reconsider, whatever that is, if the consensus is you'd like to have the plan commission's determination, I think it's fair to give them that consensus so that they can be proactive, because as the code is reads, going before the plan commission isn't required. It's if required, right? And you have the authority to mandate that, and you have in the past. If the consensus is you want that to happen for any additional submission, come with that in hand. I think it's fair for them so that they can not piecemeal this.
should we,
So they can be proactive and go and get on the agenda for the plan commission.
should we,
I plan on asking for it first. I don't want to waste your guys' time. I'm
Right.
trying to be efficient and
I understand. Should we deal with the motion and then have some discussion about, okay. All right. How about that?
if
Sure.
we could, Pete, is there anything I missed in Pete's online, was the one that would have done the submission? Is there anything I missed in Pete with respect to the, the sewer permit?
Yeah, so until it's Pete Zwarski for the record. Until we are issued a address by Long Beach, we are not able to submit for a sewer permit. That's exactly what happened. This same exact thing happened with the house. So until the address is given to us so that we can apply for the sewer permit with LaPorte County, we can't proceed with that.
Well, it's with the sanitary district, because then you got to go before the common council and do that
Right.
dance. But that's also a plan commission thing to grant that address. So if the inclination is to go before the plan commission and get that address at the same time.
We obtain address.
Yeah.
They issue them. Yep.
It used to be you could go to the post office, but they don't allow that anymore. And
That's just
from
a
the building
request.
commission end, but
There isn't some elongated petition. That's just a request to get on the agenda so you can combine. Yes.
yeah. It's usually you just request it and then they'll ask, and then you go, the county will post it. Any other discussion on the motion?
Are we including the APC issue?
No.
Okay. No.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Okay, I think, and Chris's advice, we should talk, the three things that we saw that were not compliant is number 9 from the Plan Commission, number 12, the sewer, and number 13, the driveway cut. That's an application through the town, and Tom looks at it. That could be done at the same time. I would think the sewer would be done. Is there anything else that anybody can think of or in their review has seen that
Yeah,
you would ask the the applicants for?
I'll add that, I don't know the exact wording, but the structure does not look like one building. Two distinct buildings, even though there's a connection. Number two, that I would request that the Building Fire Safety Commission review this as a potential Class 1 structure.
Alternatively, they could have the determination, right, and demonstrate to you what structure it is. That doesn't mean that you can't separately verify that or have your engineer, right? But that actual determination through the state, if necessary, of what that class structure is, 1 versus 2, so that it puts that to bed.
Well, I mean, that's really up to the Building Fire and Safety
No,
Commission.
I get that, but that's something that they can be proactive and present you with the information of why it's one or the other. I don't want to speak for them, but presumably, they've presented it as a residential structure, not putting it in the commercial realm, but up to them they can be proactive and show you that so that you have that information.
Yeah, by default, a residence doesn't meet that criteria. So it's a level of hazard is how that's based, and occupancy. So it's if it were, a chemical plant or something, then that's where it changes into, or if it's a manufacturing facility that has, steel plant with, open flint, this doesn't jump into those categories to require special fire protection.
Well, I'm not sure it's just that. It's the ultimate classification, what's allowed there. So for instance, the public, whether the public is using it or not, and that may trigger the use in different classes. So you'll be able to demonstrate that one way or the other, but that's something that it'll be important for you to just distinguish. The code's pretty clear on those definitions and show why you do or don't apply to one or the other. But for instance, under that Class 1 structure, if you had tenants, if the public is visiting, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I'm just pointing that out. You have counsel.
So, Anthony, I think that what we're saying is 9, which is the Plan Commission. I mean, we can talk, if anybody has to talk about that.
I think they're going to get an address at the APC anyway, so why wouldn't they get an opinion on the whole project while they were there?
Anybody else?
And that opinion would be about whether or not this structure complies with the comprehensive plan.
Yeah,
Just so they know exactly
Yes.
what their role is.
Question for clarification, is that an official petition for notice? I believe it's not.
I think it's just that request. But there isn't any procedure for that. So I think if you send it to Meg, she can put it on the agenda of request for that determination. Last time you did that, if I'm recalling it correctly, they mandated that you get that, but there isn't a process. So I think that I will say that that's the sufficient process in case anybody questions that just that request.
And then the last, or the other one is a street cut permit, which is an application through the town. That's pretty simple. I'm sure you got one for the other house. Any discussion on any other items that may be of concern? Anthony, anything else?
Thank you.
Bet. Next up is permit number 7, 1616 Lakeshore Drive. There was a stop work order. Everybody's familiar with what that entailed. It was some demolition issues and what they were going to leave and what they weren't. And the owners went to the BZA for 2 variances, one for the west side, an encroachment into the setback on the second floor. The other was on the east side, which was a encroachment.
We got kicked around again.
You need,
They have 3 more.
you need to mute yourself. We can hear you.
Okay. I forgot where I was. On the east side, it was an encroachment into the east setback. So they asked the BZA for those 2 variances and they were approved. So I would recommend that we lift the stop work order.
I'll second that.
Uh,
Is that a motion to approve the permit?
The permit was approved, the stop work order, I don't know, Chris, is it, we're just listed, we're approving the project to go forward, lift the stop work order.
Stay consistent.
Okay, somebody want to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll
Joy?
second it.
Pete, any discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Or nay, sorry. Okay, guys are all set. Let's jump around here. Well, let's do this. This actually is old business. It's not new business. I made a mistake there. Line item 15, which is 2226 Oriole Trail, was an ongoing issue with lot coverage, and they wanted to get their certificate of occupancy. So they made a proposal to bring their property into compliance. And Carter went out and checked and got back to us and said that, or got back to me and said that they did comply with the proposal that they had submitted. And I wanted to, the owner questioned as to why we were bringing the certificate of occupancy to the building commission meeting. And I explained to the owner that because of all the issues we had with the project, I wanted to make sure that we weren't going to face anything else before we issued this. So I think it would be appropriate if we had a motion to issue the certificate of occupancy.
Did we?
I'll second.
Was that Joy?
Okay,
Thanks.
Did we ever get a map where the septic system is?
Pete, this isn't on iWorks, so I can't bring that up, unfortunately. Oh, wait, maybe it is. Hold on. Let me look.
What's the permit number, Larry?
And not just the septic tank, but the septic field. Carter, did we get that?
I'll look it up here. Yeah, we got it right here. The drawing on the right is what was the existing coverage before they changed and reduced the coverage. The septic tank is drawn in where the dashed lines are. The circle is the location of the dry well, and the septic tank is the location of the square or rectangular dashed lines.
Can you put the arrow on where the septic tank or the dry well is?
Right here. And then the tank is right, the tank is here, which is a rectangular tank. And this is the location of the dry well. And I don't know if you guys can read that. It says probe during course of survey.
Okay, so does that then qualify? I thought there was some separation distance required.
It's 10 foot from a structure.
Now, concrete block is a structure.
I think this is a patio. I don't know if we have, let's see what 11 is.
But we define structures as patios as structures. Unless there's something overriding it.
Yeah, it has to have a footing in order for it to be counted if you look at the code.
What?
Who was that? Oh, hold on. Let me look at number 11 and number 9. Number 11 is a lower level patio. Number 9 is an upper level patio and steps. Pat, are you on here?
Pages, and if you look at the code,
I
I
think
believe it's somewhere if you zoom out.
Paige, wait a second. Didn't you guys get a letter from the county?
No, because this is where the septic is as portrayed in the certified survey. And I think you're slightly misrepresenting the code about what the distance is from a tank, because if you look, it's distance from a structure with a footing.
Well, I can bring the code up. That's not the issue. The issue is as to whether or not they allow 10 foot is the distance. Hold on, let me see if I can.
Correct. 10 foot from something with a footing. So we are in compliance per the survey of being 10 foot from a structure with a footing. I'm only trying to assess because we obviously have gone through this. So if you zoom out, I believe we copied for ease the code and per the certified survey saw the distance.
Why isn't this coming up here? Hold on. You guys are going to have to bear with me. It's just taking me a second to, oh, here it is. Okay, so separation distances, just to be sure everybody understands what's. I believe it's page 12. This is highlighted for Lakeshore Drive, but down here where you can see my mouse moving back and forth, buildings, foundations, slabs, garages, patios, barns, above ground and below ground, swimming pools, retaining walls, closed loop geothermal systems, roads, driveways, parking areas, or paved sidewalks, septic tank and other treatment units, dosing tank, lift stations, 10 foot. The footnote is number 7, which is.
That's the reference I had.
Patios without
I just
footers.
have to find it. I think that's number 7. Hold on.
7 and 8. If you go up, it's under the table, Mr. Wall.
Chris,
It's
you
the
read
footnote
one
under
at a
the
time.
table.
What am I missing here?
Yeah, footnote 7 and 8, if you go back to that. I know, I'm just
Hold on.
helping you find it.
Paige, hold on.
Right there.
7, patios without footers, above ground swimming pools and sidewalks may be located within the 10 feet of a septic tank as long as no required access points are obstructed. So what's comes into play here is what I just read about the building's foundations and slab. And the exception is footnote 7, which again reads, patios without footers, above ground swimming pools and sidewalks may be located within 10 feet of the septic tank as long as the access points are not obstructed. Everybody okay with that?
Yep.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, we're all set. All right, let's. Next
By the way,
is
on that particular survey, does that type of survey have a name to it? Or that we can refer all future surveys? And is that's the kind of stuff where it calls out each individual item on the lot
Labels them.
and labels them?
Yeah, that
So,
is nice.
so can we, what do we need to do to specify that's the type of survey we need for these issues?
that's a staked, what is commonly referred to as a staked survey rather than a house location.
Stake survey?
Staked, STAKED. It can be called a boundary survey. I mean, it's called a lot of different things. I think we refer to it in our ordinances as a staked survey. And in general, when somebody supplies, we'll probably look at more later in the meeting here. We can ask them, as you saw in that survey, which I can bring back up if you want to see it.
No, I'm
That survey was, every part that they wanted to identify was changed. There was a different color. So that's what makes it easy for everybody here to read. They also, a couple of times, people have come in and had the basic or a stake survey, and then they pulled the sections out of that survey and listed what the square footage is. That's not a common thing, but
No, I think one of the difficulties though, they have to keep in mind is if your code doesn't say that, you need to change it. But as you ponder such things is the cost that you're going to add
Right.
to projects, right? So if somebody's doing a small update and just as an example, right, an extreme measure, you have somebody who is a lifelong resident on a fixed income, and then all of a sudden they have to spend $4,000 or $5,000 on a stake survey, maybe 3,000, maybe 5,000. So there's a push pull there that you guys have to think about going forward. Although I understand the benefits of those for sure from your point.
But we've had issues, which this is one of them, that went round and round because we did not get this kind of survey until now. And I think we can avoid a lot of cost for us as well as the homeowner if we just get this right up front. And it doesn't have to be applied in every case. But when we have these situations where there's questions about lot coverage, this kind of thing is important. Otherwise, we just go round and round in circles. Everybody agree with that or not?
I think some of that
I
is
really can't hear you, Pete.
if your code,
Yeah,
I think the code just needs to be clear so that people have the expectations of what's required too, right? So that they do bring you the information. I do think one benefit of having a survey in general is that, you have somebody putting a professional and put whatever weight you want, right? But you do have a surveyor putting their stamp on it, and that does mean something as well. They have licensing and ethical standards. So like I said, it's just things you guys have to think about, because the level of survey that one ended up having to be was by necessity, but that cost that you could add is significant.
Understood?
Anything else? Okay, next up is line 16, permit number 342. That's 2215 Lakeshore Drive. This came well, it didn't really come before us in the December meeting. I had discussions with the contractor, the architect, and the owner. And that at that time, there were some things on the project that weren't going to meet, just like the one that we had first off here. So they made some changes, and the 2215 Lakeshore Drive permit, I'll bring it up so you can see it. It meets our setbacks. There's no encroachments. And hold on. And it meets our building height. The builders here, Gary, and the architect, Nate, is on not on the phone, on Zoom. So I'll zoom this up. You can see what is existing on the left. The coverage is at 46.71%. Lakeshore Drive is on the top of the drawing, or north. What is proposed from a building standpoint and a coverage standpoint is the light purple and the hashed gray area at the south end. In the walk, the tan is subsurface or subterranean. That's septic field and septic tank. The dashed lines are the topo lines for the landscaping. And that coverage is 35%. Anybody have any they all come in at 35%.
So basically, they're tearing it all down, and they're over coverage now, but they're gonna, with the tear down, they're going to meet the new 35%.
That's correct. There was discussion about renovating the house, and there was discussion, I'm not going to speak for Gary, but the architect and Gary can tell us. I think there were a lot of different renditions of what they were going to do. They were thinking about renovations, they were thinking about you leaving, but I'll ask either Nate or Gary to address how far the demolition is going to go and then what they're going to do after.
So this has not been demoed yet?
No. Nate, you want to address that?
Yeah, I can chime in. This is Dan Contreras. I've been working on the project for Kipnis. Do you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. Yeah, we initially explored just tearing down and doing a completely new building, but we had since tried to keep the existing footprint of the building and just build over that. It's currently a split level home. So we're adding a full third level above the existing building with a roof deck. So staying within the existing footprint of the building is what we're proposing here, and then modifying the hard surfaces on the lot to accommodate the 35% lot coverage limit. So driveway, patio, footprint of the building, all the walks are included on here. Pads for the AC units, all that's inclusive of what counts towards the lot coverage area. And then removing the existing retaining wall and leveled out berm area in the front facade or the front of the building to gain that lot coverage back so it doesn't count against us. Gary, are you there, Gary? I don't know if you can speak to the demo of the status of the demo.
Originally, we were considering the foundation due to renovation. Is that on, Gary? Just touch to make sure it's green.
So originally, we were considering doing a renovation. I think our numbers were slightly over that would be allowed to grant out the dam and Maple very close to Sarah Harris to get the number to 35%. And from a contract perspective, we experienced this recently. Our goal would be to take the house down to the existing lot. As I found recently, if we find that to be acceptable for the new structure, then it really leaves us in a difficult position. So our goal at this point in time is to remove all the wood structure down to the foundation and build up from there, but it will be compliant with the lot coverage. If you find that the foundation is not suitable for the work that we're going to do, it will allow us to make adjustments in that going forward. That is, to me, that's a really big point.
Thanks, Gary. From a height standpoint, this is, you can't see the numbers unless I zoom up like this. This is the garage slab where the grade is tangent to the house. That's 0. The top of the roof is 32 foot 11. And as you know, 33 feet is our limit. If you guys want to look through these, I can scroll through them if you'd like. This is another view of that. This point is the northernmost point of the house. It's the garage. That's where the low spot is. This is the high spot based on, looks like it's a flat roof. So that's 33 feet from this point to the top here.
So this is 2-story?
It's actually 3. The garage level, I'll go to an elevation. So this is standing on Lakeshore Drive looking at the house. This is a vaulted area. This is a living floor here, and there's a living floor here. This is the garage level. I'll go to the floor plan so you can see what that is. Let me start down low. This is the lower level plan. So this area is subterranean. Is that correct? That's correct. So you pull up into the garage. This is all below grade. This is the main floor. And then this is the 3rd floor.
Okay, so do we not have a story limitation?
Yeah, it's 3 stories.
It's not 2.5.
I think it's 2.5 to 3. I don't know if we want to hold somebody look that up for us, but that's Appendix A. I have it in here. Hold on. Oh, for God's sake, I don't know why I can't pull it up.
What you looking for?
Here it is.
What you looking for? 154,048.
Yeah, does it say 2.5 to 3 stories is 33 feet?
Says 2.5 stories, limited to a maximum of 27 feet above the highest pre-construction grade elevation at the perimeter of the proposed building platform, or 3 stories, limited to a maximum of 33 above the lowest pre-construction elevation at the perimeter of the proposed building platform.
So that's where they are. They're at 3 stories at the lowest pre-construction grade. This garage is actually, hold on, what happened here? This garage is an existing garage.
Correct.
Or I'm sorry, it's not a garage anymore, isn't it? Isn't it? It is a garage.
No, it's a good garage. Yeah,
That's the lowest pre-construction grade.
correct.
As the architect was explaining, there's a retaining wall. I can go back to this.
That's all right.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Move to approve.
Bob,
Second.
Joy? Any other discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Okay.
Thank you.
Let's go to line 18. I see Frank here. I just want, so everybody doesn't have to sit through all these. This is 2220 Oriole Trail. It's a permit that was submitted, 2 baths and a kitchen renovation. We questioned the cost of the work. I spoke with the owner, Frank Meyer, who is here today. I spoke with him. This is, and what we'll probably do is ask you to change that, Frank. This is for demolition. Frank, they're in the process of, the $25,000 is for demolition. They're in the process of obtaining drawings for the kitchen and the bathrooms. So when they come in with that, the permit will probably be that work will probably go up by $105,000. So what we're voting on is the demolition permit, but I want to make sure, Frank, that either you or Greg, you go in and you have to change that permit so that it's correct in
You have to talk up here.
No, I think it's best if we just go with this as a demolition permit and then they'll apply for the new permit rather than try to change the price on this because they don't have the drawings yet. Got to say who you are and your address.
My name is Frank Meyer. I used to live in Long Beach. I'm going to be back in Long Beach. I've worked on a tractor, but I'm kind of retired, and so Deutschers, I do everything to Deutschers, and that's going on over there. We had intended to do, fairly sensitive demolition and then some pre-construction that's required inside the house prior to completing drawing. We just acquired this in December 45, so I have some over there that is creating some drawings and plans for revision, and then we are hoping to change the footprint of the house, which, by the way, will require all variances, and we're well within the 35%. And it really is not that major, but in any case, that's a story. And so that's why the permit was submitted the way it was.
Has work been going on in this house?
Pardon me?
Has work been going on in this house?
Yes, but.
But there,
that's
but,
because Greg presumed when we made the payment a few weeks ago that we could move forward.
but the permit was never approved in the first place.
Eric, when Carter showed up the other day, he informed me that the permit was not approved, which I was not aware of.
So what we need you to do, Frank, is go in and modify this permit, that it's a demolition permit for the interior. You're not changing anything. And then we'll leave the rest of the permit like that. And that's what we're talking about today. And then when you get to the point where you're going to do an addition or you have the drawings, then you could submit for a permit for all of that work. Okay?
Which will be sometime in the next 6 weeks. So-
Okay. Great. But I just want to make sure that everybody understands that if we vote on this permit, if the building commission votes on the permit today, it's based on to change to demolition only. Okay?
And the contractor on this is Deutscher.
Deutsche Construction, yes.
No. Just a question, Deutscher's been around here.
He's registered.
Yes,
Isn't
but he knows that you can't begin construction or demolition without a permit. Everybody agree to that?
Yes.
What's the penalty for that?
I think it's $500 for the owner, $500 for the contract. I think it's here or two.
But just, you guys have to let us know what you want to do.
Was it
I mean-
you or was it Deutscher?
Pardon me?
Was it you or Deutscher doing the work?
It was me. You know, it's Deutscher had been over there. You know, my house, and I thought when.
Well, his truck has been there.
Well, yes, but only to drop something off and pick it up for me.
Okay.
You were just doing interior demolition work, like stripping out.
Yeah.
That's what were you doing?
Owners left a monster pile of stuff in there, and so, yeah, we've been taking it all out and we're filling up dumpsters with it.
You haven't really done demolition, you've just taken out all the junk that's in.
No, we've done some demolition, yes. No, we stripped out of that. Yes.
So what would you guys, what do you want us to do here?
I would move to approve the demolition permit.
Second.
Joy,
Yeah. No penalties.
Ellen? Any discussion
What was the motion?
to approve the demolition permit?
Yes, I seconded.
So we have charged everybody else for this offense since that rule was passed, right?
Normally, that's what we do.
I think we need to be consistent, and since the contractor wasn't involved in it, I think it's just the single $500. My suggestion would be just fine, not the double.
Is,
If we don't do that. then we're not made-
Bob, we can't hear you down here. It's
Yeah, I
okay.
think, I'm fine with approving the demolition, but I think if we're gonna be consistent, we have to stick with the $500 fine. But in this case, for just the owner, since the contract.
And I don't think we are being consistent, but I'm going to bring that up at the end of the meeting. But I would agree with you, Bob.
Well, listen.
hold on, Frank. Okay, so Joy, do you want to amend your motion or?
I'd rather somebody else make another motion.
Okay, so how does that work? You
Just
just,
take a vote on her motion. There's a motion and a second, yes.
okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then I'll make a motion.
Opposed? Nay.
Hold on, yep.
Okay,
Then I would make a motion that we need to assess the $500 fine to just the owner, not the contractor. That's my motion.
okay. Is there a second?
Okay.
Pete, any discussion?
Do you want to hear? I know that it's your meeting. Sorry to interrupt, but I didn't.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Frank.
Oh, I was gonna say that Deutscher's had nothing to do with work. I was working over there under the presumption it was okay. I should pay a fine. I really don't have an issue with that. That's what the rule is. That's fine. I appreciate you're not gonna penalize Deutscher. I was just under the presumption that I can work over there. That's the long and short of it.
Okay,
Yes, I should have known better, and therefore I have no problem with.
okay.
But the work you were doing was just demolition and emptying out old junk. You weren't, had you built anything?
Did
Some building? Okay.
Yes.
So we have a motion for a $500 fine. Any other discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay, Frank, you're all set. You just have to pay the fine. Carter will write a citation for you, and then I'm sure you'll be looking forward to that. And then just, you'll have to come in and pay that. I've known you a long time. I think you have. I think you've had some before. Maybe not from this group.
Well, welcome back to Long Beach.
Yeah, welcome back.
Okay, Frank, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, next is, hold on, I don't want to get followed up. Let's just do the last one on this page. Line 17, permit number 377, that's 1922 Lakeshore Drive, moving sand away from the seawall. That, there was a permit issued for the same thing last year, and the sand has crept back up to the top of the seawall. I have been down there. I met with the contractor, which is Woodruff, and they want to do the same thing. There'll be no removal of sand. They're just bringing it down to the, where it was when they did it the first time.
So spreading it out on the beach.
Yes, no, you can't mine sand, right? But you know that. I think that's why you're asking. Yes, no sand removal.
And we've done it in the past. I make a motion, we allow them to do it.
Second.
Motion by Bob, second by Pete. Any discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right.
Got another word.
Yeah, we got one.
22, right?
Yeah, but these other ones, what are you here for? Okay.
Number two,
Oh,
more.
Ken. Oh, good. This, why don't you come up? I'll do this and then you could just explain to us. So this is a house, Ken has a permit. He was going to do all interior demolition. I'll bring the drawings up. And they bought the house, and what they found after they got in, we gave him a permit, I don't know, a couple months ago. And what he found, he's doing most of the work himself, except for the mechanicals, which he will hire licensed contractors for. And what he found when he was going through the house was that it needed much more extensive work. So I'll pull the drawings up. So Ken and I had talked about, what should happen. And what should happen is he's basically, it's a new permit rather than amending the old permit because our system seems to work better that way. And I'll open the permit up here in a second. So that everybody understands. We did have one question after our pre-meeting, which we do, Honor and Carter and I get together. I'll show you the lot coverage first, then we'll go to,
Yeah, so pretty cool property, but needing a lot more beautification on the interior. So decided to bring and Joel back on call.
okay. So here's the lot coverage. This is on iWorks. You guys probably have already seen it. He's proposing with the new garage and a sun porch or patio porch enclosed is 16.9%. Oh, darn it. I'll bring up the drawings too. So this is Roslyn Trail. The lot lines that are dark. It represents 16.9%. Actually, they have the cover, he has the coverage right on here. So the proposal is, this is new, this garage in the white section, right, is new. So it meets the setbacks. This is a side setback, obviously 10 foot here. The 30-foot setback is up here. Side setback is 10, 20 foot is back here. So he meets the setback. The new section or the new portion of the garage meets the height requirements. The only question that we had was there's no drawing for the garage in the upper area. But you said it was finished space. What is that finished space? Oh, okay. Because you can't put living space, living meaning bathrooms, kitchens and whatever. Okay. All right.
Little loft space for me to tinker in things.
Okay.
So no plumbing, did you say?
No problem.
No.
I own the lot next door. And
You can see that here.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All set, Ken. Thank you. Okay, Chuck, you're here for 19, which is, I've got the wrong number in there. What's the address? 2932 or 2923?
2022,
Oh, yeah, we have that. Or what's the other? Oh, 2015 Melrose. Okay. Let's go to 2015 Melrose. Which is permit number 395. Hold on here.
Yes.
black is the existing house. Isn't this patio existing, Chuck?
Yes, that.
Okay, just explain, say who you are and what you're doing here. Okay, so the black is the existing house and this patio is existing. The proposal is to add a 3-season room here in the black line, white, and then these stairs, correct? All right, I think we have a coverage calculation here somewhere. No, it's not here. Didn't you upload a coverage calculation? What is it?
G001.
Here we go. Oh, for God's sake. I'm gonna have to get my granddaughter in here and get this, doing this stuff, for God's sake. Let's go here. Okay. Come on. Why can't I see this on my screen? Is this it? Yeah. Okay, so the coverage is 19.9%. It is a single, it meets the height requirements. The only thing that I noticed on the drawings, which I'm going to ask you to change, is the frost line. You don't have the footings go, or the architect or whoever did the drawings does not have the footing going below frost line, which is obviously a requirement. And I'll show everybody what that is. Sunroom permit. Which one of these is the drawing set? So I don't have to keep going through all these.
A001.
Okay, I see it's the last one. A101. Last file. Yeah.
Okay, now you can see him. So here's the house. This is an existing. This is the proposed 3-season room. And it's at a different elevation than the patio, so there's steps to go down to the patio. And the footings are shown. I'll zoom this up and explain. So what we're going to ask you to do here is, this shows that the footing is 2'6" plus a footing of 1 foot and a pier of 2'6", which is 3'6". That's 42 inches. You need to be at 48 inches. So I'm going to ask you, you're going to have them change that. And the permit is, if it's approved, it's going to be based on that. Okay?
Is it the 3-season room? Is that going over where the deck is? So it's replacing the deck.
Motion to approve.
Bob,
Second.
Pete, any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, nay. Okay, while Chuck is here, there was a 2202 Lakeshore Drive. It's a house directly east of stop 22. There was a deck that was taken off the building and a new deck put on and without a permit. So we got a complaint about the deck extending into the town's property, the stop. And it, in fact, does extend into the town stop. So because it didn't have a permit and because it extends into the town stop, we issued a stop work order. So that stop work order stopped all the work at the house. There is a separate permit for the work that was the interior work in the house. While the owner and the building commission received back and forth drawings and the requirements for the deck, I think we can lift the stop work order for the original permit so that they could continue working in the house. And that's what I would propose.
Now, is the new, so the deck is not going to encroach on town property?
Well, it can't. I explained to both Chuck and the owner that the building commission can't give you a permit to encroach, build on somebody else's property or encroach into the setbacks. So that's what they're working on now, trying to come up with the proper deck so that they would meet the town zoning requirements.
Did they have a permit for that deck?
No,
Nothing at all.
no.
And that work was done by the contractor?
I'm assuming Chuck did it.
So just again, to be consistent, there's the $500 fine for the owner, $500 fine for the contractor if work was done without a permit, right?
We paid them off.
Okay, good. Okay. And so basically, Larry, your suggestion is to allow them to do inside work while they figure out what they want to do on the outside.
Because it was
On the deck.
previously approved,
That's
right?
That's right.
That's been previously approved.
There was a previous permit for the interior.
Right. This work was not permitted before, and there was a previous permit.
Okay.
When we issued the stop work order, as we typically do, all work on the project stopped.
Okay.
So the owner and Chuck have asked if we could lift the stop work order on the interior work at the house while they're trying to figure out what they're going to do on the other section.
So moved.
So are we going to get a separate permit application for the deck only?
Yes. They actually submitted one, but it still doesn't meet the requirements. So I've been talking to Chuck and actually talking to the owner of the house about what we can approve at our level.
I don't have a problem with approving, with lifting the stop work order. I think it's just an ongoing issue with that house of fines and extending beyond what they're doing and knowing that they were in the town property before when they had destroyed it and fixed it. And then they build a deck that extends beyond where the deck even was, that wasn't even on the permit. So it's just continued fines, and it's just the town resources of people driving by and noticing, or Carter noticing, or someone noticing. So I guess it's just my own personal opinion that we have experienced builders, and how does this just keep happening, that we happen to build a deck that just happened to go beyond where the old deck was onto town property. So, but I'm in favor of letting them continue work inside.
Agree with that, and there's been some, I don't know if it's been corrected, some disturbance of the town side of the property, the actual stop there.
They fixed it though. Yeah, that was, yeah, they fixed it. Dan's Landscaping fixed all of it.
I'm sorry?
Dan's Landscaping.
It was
Has it-
fixed.
has it-
Dan's Landscaping fixed all of it.
So it's okay right now? Everything's
Yeah.
fine?
Yeah.
So do we have a motion or want to entertain a motion to lift the stop work order?
So moved.
Bob, second.
I'll second it.
Neil? Any other discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Nay.
Okay. So Chuck, two things. On this one, you can continue the work on the inside. We'll have to get straight on the deck. And on your other one, have the architect change the drawings and get those uploaded, and then we can issue the permit on that one. Okay? Yeah. Garrett, okay. Well, what do we have left? Can we do that, Chris, or should we finish the? Okay, why don't you just come up? That way you don't, I didn't I thought you were just, you'd like to hear me talk or something.
It's really a procedural question on planning process. And what was very McDonald on.
Yeah, we approved the permit.
The one you and I talked about?
We spoke briefly about that, and I guess from my standpoint, we know, based on, it's a non-compliant lots, less than 6,000. The home was presently at the property lines. We've started planning and realized that we have an existing septic in place that we're going to retain fairly new. So it leaves us, we'll need to move the house forward and ask for a variance from the BZ. I guess it would probably be, the standard would be 30 foot. We would ask to move it to 22 foot. But Barry's question is, do we need to submit this plan to you and get a referral to the planning commission, or do we go directly to the planning commission?
Are you moving the house?
We're demoing the houses there. We haven't switched the lines.
That's okay, but and you're getting rid of the foundation?
Getting rid of the foundation, we would start fresh. The goal would have been to bring it in and build it.
Okay, so that-
setbacks on heights, coverage,
So this is a totally new house?
totally new.
But my advice,
Doing the plan, no, without a doubt, the footprint is a 36 by 90 footprint. It's the side yard setbacks.
Okay, so why should this go to the plan commission or anybody else before it comes to us? Do you have a?
Well, because they know they need variances.
Yeah. And they're not required to come to you first.
But I think we should see it so we can identify all the potential problems
Yes.
before it goes to the BZA and they approve something, then it comes to us and we find a problem and we send it back.
I agree, and that's really what my goal was today, is to visit for make sure. I don't want to waste your time back and forth. Larry's been very generous with this time, advising on this. It's just one last question from Barry to say, do we submit to the planning commission knowing full well that we need to go to the BCA? Or do we just-
See, if you go to the BZA and you say, I want, whatever it is, dispensation on these two variances, and you come to us and we find a third, you gotta go back. So
I know they asked for a lot coverage variance previously. We'll try to clean that up as much as possible. But I think.
One thing, and it happened earlier today, and it's happened before. If you take the house down, you got to get to LaPorte County, because they consider when you tear the house down, a new system. I think you and I talked about that. That's a new system. Just check with them first before.
The septic that's in there, the home had previously been sold, and they deemed the previous septic system valid, so they installed the new septic system. I'm gonna say the last 5 years or so.
Right,
So-
but you'll have to go to the county and that with your plans and say, is this going to be, we'll require that, just like we did earlier.
I mean, you know that septic systems are based on the number of bedrooms.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm sorry, what was the address?
unless it's the same number of bedrooms and it's.
What was the address? I missed it.
1808 Ridgemore.
Okay.
And they're doing planning, we have time before they're going to start, so we just want to go through the planning process and make sure.
Yeah.
We don't waste your time out.
Okay,
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
All right.
You too. All right. We jumped around. I want to make sure we hit all these. Did we?
19, we need.
19, we didn't hit 19. I've got the wrong address. Let me pull the permit up.
Which one is 19?
This, the address is actually 2932 Belle Plaine Trail. Added an extra 3. And I'll bring the drawings up. So what they're doing is they're building a deck, screen porch, new windows, doors, and remodel the foyer. We sent a note to them and asked for a site survey showing the lot line setbacks and distance from the lot lines and lot coverage calculations, which they sent to us.
14, yeah.
It's 25 feet in the rear, which is this setback. This is the screen porch that they want to put in. It's 25 feet from the rear. It's 35 feet from the side lot. I'll bring the coverage calculations up here. Oh, that's not it.
What's the big rectangular thing that has the arrow pointing to it that it says like new deck?
New porch up on top. That's what they want to do.
Off to the side.
Hold on. Let me get back to that screen, Joy. I don't know where I am now.
32.
Is that something that's already existing? That's goes into the setback?
I can't get, hold on. Sorry. I'm in this drawing. I just can't seem to. That's his setback line. Hold on, let me look and see what this says. What's the address on this one? Oh, wait a minute, you're right. That does say new deck, doesn't it? Why is this coming up? I don't know why you guys can't see this. There we go. You know what, Joy? I didn't see that.
Well, does description of the work and the permit application say they're building a new deck?
Well, it says they're building a new deck here. And I assumed it was the new porch here and the new deck here, because that's where he's drawing his 25-foot setback line from here to here. I'm going to have to check on this. But that does say new deck, and that would not be allowed. It's into the setback.
Plus, didn't you say it's only 25 feet from the rear property line?
Well, from the 25, this is the rear of the house. Yes, it's 25 feet. So that meets the rear setback.
I thought it had to be 30 in the rear.
No, the rear setback is 20. Or I'm sorry, the side setback.
The rear setback's supposed to be 30. Right?
No, the front setback is 30, the rear setback is 20, the side setback is 10. So the front of the house is this curved line here. And this is the driveway. I'm not even sure. What's the street? Belle Plaine. So this new porch is in the side. this new deck is next to it. I will confirm, I'll pull the permit up, but I didn't think that where you brought up, Joy, if that says a new deck, it wouldn't be, oh no, they did purchase that. That would be allowed.
But would they have to combine the lots?
Yeah. I better check on this. Maybe I'm a little bit too early
So
here.
also on the, let's see, I guess that would be the straight here. Where that, can you pull that up on Beacon?
Sure.
microphone, please. We can't hear down here.
And I have a question about some coverage issues here. That's the house, I don't know where all that stuff.
It's all out of focus.
Okay. All right, here we are. Honor loves when I do this instead of typing the address in. What are 29 what? 32 Belle Plaine. Not even in the right town.
I love that even more.
Where is it, Pete?
You go to the search box. And then put it there. Here's.
Okay. What's the address? 29 what?
32.
32.
No.
This is what.
Yeah, it's down here.
What's
If I put the search in, then it's gonna take me away from
that's
this.
all that stuff.
I don't know what that is.
Like a glacier.
That's as far as I can zoom up.
We have to figure out what that is, because that seems like that would have an impact on coverage. That's artificial.
Gravel, maybe?
Hmm?
Is that like gravel?
Boy, got me. Either that or oatmeal.
All right, I'll find out. I'm gonna have to get more information for
It,
I-
it looks more like a screened-in porch when you look at the architectural drawing. Yeah, the permit says exterior addition, but it's really a screened porch.
All right, I'll get some more information. I'm going to have to address Joy's point as well as the material that Pete brought up. We'll have to check it out. I know Carter loves doing that. You're killing me. No, I'm just kidding you.
beach grass. I mean, it's-
Not for long.
But we still want to know about that other deck anyway.
Yeah,
So I think maybe we could talk to them and just make sure whatever we're looking at there isn't coverage.
932.
2932. Oh, that's Jim Duffy's old house. Yeah, that's, oh, you can't see this. Hold on. That's all grass. I think the picture on Zoom is, it's dead. Come on. Thanks, Chris. You guys see that? This is that spot right here. So I think on Zoom,
Yeah,
the grass is dead.
you're right.
All right. Well, we're going to have to get more information anyway. Okay, next is 2206 Lakeshore Drive. That's similar to the 1922. We got a call about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago about the house at 2206. It's the white house that has got a green metal roof, second house over. So actually, Mark Swistek met me down there. We met with the owner. The sand has blown up over the top of the seawall and drifted between, I might even be able to show you here.
This is the one that covered up the weep holes.
Yeah, but and we explained to the owner while we were there that a lot of people have or think that because sand is on the, because sand is in front of their seawall, that's causing drainage problems. The issue really is, and we saw it in 2019, we saw most of these seawalls don't have proper drainage behind them. So what happens then is, oh, I have to share this with you. If you don't have proper drainage behind your seawall, anybody that's lower, obviously, than Lakeshore Drive, which all seawalls are, you get casual water buildup. You're taking the water from the hillside with their rainwater, the street water, and everybody knows water seeks its own level. So it comes down to the seawall and it normally percolates down. But when you don't have proper drainage in front of your property, which most of these old seawalls, this is still an old seawall here, they get plugged with silt. So you could take all the sand away from the front of the house and it's still not going to drain. You have to do the drainage behind. We explained that to the owner, and Woodruff went down there and talked to him. So what they're asking to do, darn it. Let's see if I can keep this. I guess I can't. You can see the wall here. That's their seawall. This is the seawall to the neighbor next door, or above in front of the house with the deck that we just talked about. And as everybody knows, that goes down to stop 22 and stops there. And there's the staircase down there. We always refer to that as the WPA wall. So that wall's been there, I don't know, since the 30s, 40s. But the sand is blown up here, and it's actually covered what used to be their patio. So what they're asking to do is to take the sand and put it at the level that it is down. Oh, you can't see that where I'm pointing. Take the sand from here in front here and put it along and spread it back down here.
So they're moving sand from behind the seawall
to in front of
in front of the seawall.
Right.
Is this the Taco Bell house?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
So that seawall is really low. And so they
Yeah, it's at the same height as the stop 22 seawall.
They want to move the sand from there and put it down on the beach.
Right.
The sand is blowing into their backyard.
Right, and it's actually covered up their sump drain, which it was just a sump pump that they bought at Menards or a big box store, stuck in a bucket, and then used a lightweight 1 inch or 1.25 inch hose, and the sand crushed it. And we explained to them, that's not a solution. That hose is going to get crushed. Somebody walks on it, it's going to get crushed. So they need to put proper drainage behind the wall, which this permit is not to do that. This permit is to take the sand from this area and spread it along in here. And Woodruff that's who put the permit in. They understand there's no sand mining. They can't haul the sand off. They're also the ones doing it at Stop 19.
Which the DNR has said doesn't require a permit on their side.
That's
and they
right.
would allow it. So
That's
they
right.
just need your permission to
That's
be able
right.
to take it to the other side.
Right.
That whole block has sand up to the sea,
Yeah, it does.
19 to 20 feet. It's amazing. It's coming down my driveway.
Yeah.
So the permit covers only the movement of the sand,
Right.
and what are they going to do for the drainage? I think, is that
Well-
going to require a permit?
The drainage would require a permit. It would be substantial because they'd have to go in here and they have to excavate all behind this area. And then they have to put proper drains through the seawall. The drains that are in these old seawalls, all they are holes that
Right.
the holes were burned or punched through the seawall to handle the material. They were never meant to be drains. Back then, they didn't know that.
Will they have to move sand on the other side of the seawall in order to properly drain this?
They'll have to move sand on the land side or the house side of the seawall. They'll have to excavate down, cut holes in the seawall, and put proper drainage with proper gradient stone and filter cloth. And then that will allow the sand or the water to percolate through and then come out the openings on the seawall.
So they won't have to do anything on the lakeside.
No.
I move to approve.
Pete?
Second.
Second by Bob. All those in favor, aye.
Hi.
Opposed, nay.
I just want
Okay.
to say our agenda says it's permit 399, but it's really 402.
My granddaughter, I'm gonna have to scold her.
Yeah.
Commission comments.
I do have a hello. I do have a comment. And Carter, this is regarding fines. I had sent a photo to Carter and Chief about neighbors who had trucks doing work at their house. They're new neighbors, and I had talked to them about Long Beach. I had talked to them about the website. I had talked to them about registered contractors. I knew there would be work done in the house about how to look up registered contractors. Anyhow, we had done that, and I sent Carter a photo of paint trucks. And Carter, thank you, you did come out. In the same situation, I was fined and my contractor was fined when they were not registered in Long Beach, but it was a situation involving a zip code. So it was an error, but we paid it. And I don't know, Carter, it didn't look like fines were issued, and I was just curious why, because Bob had talked about we need to be consistent with fines, and they were not registered, and they didn't stop doing work when you told them to stop doing work. They continued to do work.
Now, which one was this?
2301 Oakenwald. They don't have permits. They've been doing inside work. Their floors have been done.
They're still working?
Oh, they had done the floors. It was when the paint and with people that weren't registered or, so I talked to them. I've talked to them 2 or 3 times. And then when the paint truck showed up, that's when I reached out to Carter. And he did come and I appreciated it, but I was cited and my contractor Calumet filed paperwork within a couple hours and were registered as these people did, but I don't believe the contractor or the owners were fined. And I'm just curious why.
Did you issue a citation, Carter?
You were with your daughter that day. You pulled up the driveway. It's a shared driveway. It's a brown house that my born in for 80 years and
I'll have to check it out.
If we didn't issue a fine, we need to issue a fine for a non-registered, the painter non-registered. If they redid the floors, did they put new floors in or did they?
they just sanded them.
sanded
As
them?
far as I know. So it was January 5th, I think, Carter, when I sent you the photos. And I did ask you, were fines registered, but I didn't hear anything. And again, it's being consistent. And do I want to be the neighbor turning people in? I mean, I'd feel like I gave them enough information about it. And it just, I don't know. I just want to be consistent.
What they were doing,
Painting.
It was a painter, which doesn't require a permit, but it requires a registered contractor.
So anyhow, so 2301 Oakenwald, Carter.
Same thing with the floors. Sanding the floors doesn't require a permit, but it requires a registered contractor.
Right.
Oh, all right, Carter, if you would check.
Thank you.
And then if we didn't issue a citation, we'll have to citation to them. Thanks, Anita.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Any other commission comments?
The citations are always $500?
Yes.
To the unregistered contractor and the owner.
let's talk about the issue of consistency. When when we go to a place and somebody doesn't have a permit or a contractor isn't registered, I don't want it to come back here and say, should we do this? It should be done on the spot.
Right.
So, and I mean, we don't have to ask anybody's approval.
I wasn't asking, it was just that I had asked at the time, had it been done, and I didn't get a response. That's why I'm bringing it up today.
No, I'm
Yeah.
just saying that,
I
that
know.
like with the fellow here at 2220, whatever that was, should have been given a citation right on the spot. And he said Deutscher wasn't doing any work, just dropping stuff off. It's not what I saw. And Deutscher's been around long enough to know anything.
Right. And Frank was too. I mean, Frank was a contractor out here. He knows you need permits. That's the status quo answer for everybody out here. Oh, I didn't know I needed a permit. Or I didn't know I needed to be registered. Any other commission comments?
We like you.
Who, Anita? Any public comments? There's no public. Any Zoom comments? If you have a Zoom comment, raise your hand, please. Being none,
Motion. Second?
Did you get that honor? I didn't hear. Who made the motion?
That was me.
Bob, Pete, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, or nay? Okay, we're done.